Okay. Can you see the screen? Yeah? Okay, cool. So I named this Discover Grounding Heart Center Clarity with Aura Transformation. And you'll find why I called it this, but it's pretty much that grounding heart center clarity that really brings our path and everything else with it. So, okay. So a little bit about me. My name is Gabriela Carnicero. I'm from Venezuela. My journey it has been very, very, um, it's been a great lesson, really. It's been very insightful, I guess. So these pictures were before my aura transformation. So I was born in 1989, which is called the transition aura. So, and I'm gonna explain once I go really deep into what aura transformation is. So I'm just sharing about me right now. So I am what it's called like I had a mixed aura, which is a little bit of indigo and a little bit of old time energy. And what this really entailed for me is like I was in my master's degree doing engineering school, and all of a sudden I was feeling that I was becoming very sensitive to energy, I was starting to become more in tune with my multi senses, which all people have, any age, no matter what. But it was becoming very, very pronounced. Like I was being very, very sensitive. So in school, I started sensing this and it became very overwhelming. I was sensing other people's energy and all this stuff, but at the same time, I was feeling this new sense of insight of what the new world was gonna look like and what I was meant to be doing. And I was like really excited. I'm like, as soon as I'm done with this engineering school, I'm gonna do something else and it's gonna be amazing and I'm gonna just start something new and create my own path and blah blah blah. So not as easy as I thought. So I've always been fascinated in school. I started tapping into my inner wisdom. So I started realizing that our bodies know a lot more than we think. So a lot of inner wisdom we start tuning into a lot of inner wisdom when we start being more clear, when we start becoming more clear. So pretty much in my journey, when I was not very healthy. I started doing engineering. I started working as an engineer, and I was not very healthy because I didn't really fit in that old time way of living. And I knew I was meant to do something different, but it was really hard to step into it. And I think a lot of young people relate with this sometimes, especially when that starts tuning in or turning on really loud. Like, I really don't want to do that way. I really want to do this. But, like either like school, society, parents, this and that, it just becomes really difficult to know what's right or wrong in that time. And when you have old time energy still in you, there's still so much baggage around us, which I will go into it. So for me, it became about needing clearing of this baggage that I was carrying, that no matter what I did, no matter how much healing I was doing healing for baggage that wasn't even mine. So it was like I was just leaking more my energy. I was just wasting more time. I just needed to clear energy and have a stronger protection. So a little bit more. I am an aura mediator. I am a certified emotion code practitioner. I completely left being an engineer, and as soon as I did my aura transformation, a lot of things became clear. My whole life, I've been really into wisdom, into like really like exploring my body at age 14, and I discovered how to reprogram my mind through food and through things. So I realized addictive behaviors and I was already reprogramming myself at age 14. By the time I was 19, 18, drugs weren't a problem. As soon as I didn't want them, I just like completely redirected myself. So did not become like addicted to things because I could redirect myself because of that thing at age 14. And at age 18, I had a whole awakening about taking responsibility and stop blaming my parents. And then at age 20, about my mid 20s, I had a whole awakening about self-love, which took me here. So my whole life has been all about this. And now I'm really tapping into like now becoming a Aura mediator, emotion co-practitioner, RTT, hypnotherapist, which I'm still a student, while still having the whole master's degree in engineering. So it's pretty interesting. But I think healing work is a lot more creative and more important for us right now because it's education. For me, healing is not about, oh, I'm gonna go and I need some healing, poor me. It's really about really understanding human history. So for me, it became like this is where engineering or my curiosity to for the world became really highlighted is that I'm studying really the history within my body. We're not taught real history in school. Like that history is like is not very helpful. So really understanding my energy and understanding like when I do healing of any level of healing, understanding ancestral wounding and like things. And sometimes we don't really need to understand a lot. The young generations really do it naturally. But okay, somebody just but when this healing is happening, we're really understanding history. It's so interesting because we are bones and memory of our ancestors and like we're living missions for them sometimes and like it's just interesting. I mean, sometimes it is kind of relevant to know and sometimes it's not. It depends on each and like each individual's journey. For me, I do sense I'm like, ooh. So within my own journey, what I'm really hyper vigilant to or what I'm really passionate about is like understanding leaky energy is really useful for especially for young adults for the Indigo crowd is really like understanding how we leak our energy, and this drains us. This makes us tired. This is for any really for any age. I found it really useful when I understood what leaky energy was and how to really empower my energy, really be energy aware of myself. That for me became empowerment. Then rebuilding self-esteem, our inner structure of self-esteem also is like something super valuable for me because in early childhood, we might skip self-development stages. Either our parents weren't listening to us, they didn't validate us enough, or this or that. And this creates a weak, wobbly core of self-esteem. So rebuilding that has become a lot easier for me with Aura Transformation. So all these things that I'm mentioning here have become so clear and so beautiful, and I'm more passionate about working with people about this. So this is my topics that I work with people with. So releasing outdated clutter to feel safe and clear in our body to create space to heal quicker. The beautiful value of releasing clutter in energy. So this is where Aura Transformation is very powerful because it enables us to clear baggage that doesn't belong to us. And it creates space for us to think clear, to have our own thoughts, to have our own ideas, to feel safer in the body. For people that have a lot of wounding, Aura Transformation is amazing because it creates space for us to feel safer to do the healing work that we're supposed to and learn to balance ourselves. I love and I offer this. I offer sessions where I help indigos how to balance themselves with a new time energy because a new time energy balance is completely different from the old time energy. So, and then the other one as a creative is expanding creative potential through grounding inner balance. So, or transformation and all these modalities, when you release all this, it kind of already naturally expands our creative because we are creative forces. So, I'm really focused on the creative because I'm a creative and I love understanding the art of energy and understanding the art of empowering ourselves. So that's just a little bit about me. So now we're just gonna dive into it. Oh yeah, and this is a pictures of me after Aura Transformation. And this two pictures were like a few months after, and then as you do aura transformation, you start crystallizing, so you start becoming embodying more of your spirit. So your spirit just glows through your eyes. It's like so vivid, and you just feel safer in your body. You feel more present. And these are the results compared to this other picture where I'm like super grayish and not very happy. And I cried a lot, so my eyes were always almost like closed. All right. So balance on all levels is what aura transformation is, and it's a new, oh, so this is the benefits for me in aura transformation. It built a new platform of living and thinking and feeling. It was a rebuilding of self-esteem, became easier, a new level of clarity. I felt more alive than ever before, a new level of self-love, feel more comfortable in my body than ever before. Healing became easier, life becomes simple, inner knowing is on all day long, holistic view of life, and strong natural boundaries. All right. Okay, so this is me sharing now the story about aura transformation and the arrival of new time energies. So new time energy, so this is a picture of the new aura systems, and I'm gonna go one by one. So this is the story. In 1996, Annie Senov, who's here in the picture, she's the founder of AuraTransformation. She found this natural phenomena naturally. So in 1996, when she had her kid, she realized she was a clairvoyant, and she realized that her son's aura was different. And she was like, "Oh, this is really interesting. What's going on? Like, why is my son's aura different?" And she started realizing that in the hospital, all the children had this aura. So, not really understanding, but all around the world, people started talking about this. And this is something that still it's mentioned in the practitioners, clairvoyants. They mention how there's indigos and there's crystals, kids now, and all this. So, when she found this, she brought this her son to the house. This energy was all around the house, and the energy was making her feel different, like she needed to ground herself. So she brought another practitioner friend to help her ground herself, and this natural phenomena was that as soon as her friend did this, which is something that her friend would do for her if she needed to ground. So Annie Senov was already very intuitive about aura leaks. So she knew that the old time aura is very leaky. So she had a lot of intuition about understanding that we need to gather our energy all the time with the old time energy. With the old aura, you're just always needing to bring your energy back to feel more alive and to feel more sovereign within your energy. She knew that. So she always had to do that to feel healthy also in her body. Because a lot of clairvoyants and sensitive humans, they become like they start having eczemas, they start having debilitation in their body because of this. So she told her friend to come in and to do that, but because the indigo energy was all around the house of her son, this energy became part of the session, and this energy naturally just and the energy was all around the house. It wasn't just around the kid, it was all around the house. The energy just inserted, dissolved her old aura, and wrapped around her. So as this energy began to wrap around her, she was sensing everything. Her friend was in a trance, but she was sensing the whole process, and she felt the immediate change. She felt like, and this is the thing with our transformation. It's a one-time session, but it brings that shift. And having a person, an old time energy adult, be shifted into a new time energy is like, now we don't have clairvoyants walking around and being like, oh yeah, that's a really special kid with this new, they don't call it new time energy. It'll be like, oh, that indigo energy. Wow, it's such a beautiful aura. Now this is an adult that has an indigo aura. And once you have the new energy, once you have the new aura, it automatically updates to the most updated one. So if when she was an indigo, once the crystal kids started coming in, she started upgrading into crystal energy as well. So this is a natural phenomena of the arrival of the new time energies. So I'm gonna explain thoroughly as I go. So what is aura transformation? Aura transformation is a one-time energy treatment which increases the frequency in both our body and energy systems to match the energy system of today's young children. During an aura transformation, our old aura is dissolved. The resulting upgrade leaves us with a new aura that perfectly is suited to the new time energies of today's world. So the way we see it is that for the way we see it is like a computer, a software like the Wi-Fi, our phones. Our phones now take 5G and beyond, I don't know. And back in the day, it didn't. Imagine like having an old Nokia trying to have Wi-Fi, like the 5G internet. It would be really slow. So that's the same way we see aura. So as an adult practitioner, as Annie's enough, being clairvoyant, being a practitioner of the healing arts and understanding and having a new time aura was really understanding how this kid's process energy was different. She was noticing, oh, these kids are processing energy different. The way they heal is different. The way they see the world is different. And she created, and this developed a bunch of books, and Aura Transformation was actually something that people were attracted to. Her life changed in physically that it made her create what it is now, Aura Transformation. So the results of Aura Transformation is the results are lasting and comprehensive, giving you a permanent upgrade of how you interact with the world, how you experience yourself, and how you channel your creative and personal power. It ignites clarity and passion, initiating body and spirit integration, a grounded experience. Activate purpose, a space for inner alignment of truth and conscious intention. It elevates radiance because, and you will understand why, but once the spirit comes in and once we are upgraded with this energy, the body and the spirit is integrating. So it brings a grounding experience like never before. It's like time becomes so slow because you're so present. It activates purpose. So it activates that fire and that clarity and that inner truth for what you want to do. And it elevates that radiance and boosting of confidence and self-trust and authenticity. But it's all the result of bringing that spirit in. So through an aura transformation, you will have protection of your physical body, be direct contact with your consciousness in a daily basis, have quick and smooth integration of higher energy frequencies on earth in your body and your in consciousness. So pretty much the the things that are happening. So well, she will explain later. This will explain later. So meaning that you will have a faster expansion, be able to keep your own energy to yourself, have stronger intuition and drive, be in contact with your truth and your passion, aka your dharma, find yourself more whole together with more energy, charisma, and joy. So why aura transformation at this time? So this is where it's explained. The Earth's frequency has significantly increased within a very short amount of time. The children of today are the ones bringing this energy. So today, the children of today are born with a new time energy system that has much higher frequency than that of their parents and other adults around them. Today's adults were born with an old time energy system that is no longer optimal for the time we're living in. Moving in the new time is the next Earth's expansion and development into higher frequency. This is also true for us humans, both our bodies and our energy fields. Many people feel out of balance today because the old-time energy system and personal frequency is no longer in alignment with the energy of their surrounding. And when we go into the auras, I will explain deeper a little bit more on that. So, what are some benefits of having an aura transformation? Your energy system gets upgraded and will be perfectly suited for the new time energies. And some examples are you get stronger intuition and drive. You're in contact with your consciousness at all time. Your body is protected because this energy is more self-contained. And once we go over the pictures, you'll see. You can keep your personal energy to yourself. It's very contained energy. Your magnetism and attraction power is intensified, and you function from a place of instant karma and free will. Okay, so this is where we go into the new time energy. So the new time energy started coming in 1987, but just slightly mixed. So if we still have the old time energy, the old time energy can still drag us down. So for the indigos that were born within 1987 and 1995, you might have some old time aura, or you might need like a mini balancing. And the reason for this is because indigos are highly susceptible to imbalancing themselves. Once the crystals were born, they're a lot more resilient to imbalances, but the indigos tend to imbalance more quick because their spirit energy is still outside their body, but also because they're more reactive. They're the game changers. So their system, the way it works is that they're here to react to the old time energy. They're here to rebel against the old time energy and create the new path. Create the new path. Now, adults, we are activating, like people that were born before 1987, you may have some indigo energy being activated in you, some crystal energy activated, so even golden energy, because we're all meant to be here. And we are all part of this, like we're not all only this body, we're all cosmic beings, and so a lot of things are being activated within us. So that's why we see a lot of adults actually talking and moving towards a new time. I've met so many adults that are like, yeah, I resonate with that. And some of them are more indigo-ish. They're feisty and rebels. And some of them are more crystal. They're like really strong boundaries. And they're like, I gotta do it I'm doing it my way and that's it. So, but still, when those things activate in adults, they still don't have the space and the capacity to to really expand that. So they still feel struggle, and they'll say it. The indigo adults are like, "Oh my God, I feel stuck. I want to do this. I have this vision, but I keep slacking." And same with so this is the thing. So within the indigos that are mixed with old time aura, we struggle a lot. And the reason for this is because you have this precious new time energy that is very cosmic. And at the same time, you have this old time aura, and the old time aura contains the ancestral wounding and the society baggage that we've been carrying for thousands of years, which makes sense because for thousands of years, we've never seen people have different aura until now. Before, it's always been the seven chakra aura. Recently, and this is the time that's been recorded, this is when the new aura kids started coming in. And we are able to speak with a lot of knowledge because we have adults now that are aura transformed and they're crystal. So there are adults right now that are crystal humans now with crystal aura and crystallized in the body. So it's like and it helps kids because kids actually this new generation suffer us a lot through dealing with the old time energy. And we'll go into that. So in 1987, the soul people with indigo energy, and then in 1995, around 1995, it was the pure indigos. There might be a few 1996, 97 that might have a little bit of old time aura. It all depends. It is case by case. I have friends that have done it that needed a mini aura transformation. This is no right or wrong. We have a purpose. We have a spirit purpose, and we might have the purpose that to go through that old time little bit of energy. So then in 2004, we started seeing the crystal and indigo mix aura. And then in 2009, the pure crystal kids started coming in. And then in 2012, the crystal children started coming in with golden energy inside, which golden energy is a very earthy energy, is very joyful energy. So it's been evolving, and we have no idea how, if it's going to continue and how it's going to continue evolving. So this is the different structure. So we have the old time aura. So within the old time aura, we have 7 chakra systems. And this means that in order to connect with our spirit, so the white area is where our spirit energy is. In order to connect with our spirit, we have to have the 7 chakras balanced. And this colorful aura that is it's pretty, it's being dissolved in, like, if I don't have a picture, but a lot of like clairvoyants and people practitioner, like really advanced practitioners that repair auras, the old time aura, they say like an accident can really damage your aura. Even for the new time kids, like having an accident, they might need an adjustment. Having surgery, drugs can damage your old time aura, especially like drugs, and then you become like hijacked by like collective and things. So the old time aura also has, besides that, it's called soul aura because it contains the old time baggage, like repression, women repression, historic repression that doesn't belong to us. It's in here in this aura. And also the collective consciousness. So it's a lower frequency energy, and the collective consciousness is like right plugged on the head. So that's why people are tend to go and follow, like everybody walks over here, everybody goes over there. And I don't know if you've noticed, but like all of a sudden people are like talking the same narrative and everybody sounds the same. They don't know each other, but they're talking about the same thing. It's like it's almost like somebody recorded this person and they're talking the same language, and it's like it's so weird. It's because they're speaking from a collective consciousness, not from themselves. So it's really funny to, not really funny, it's really interesting to see how the collective consciousness is maneuvering through people all the time. And you'll see it with politics, how everybody talks and says the same things, and you're like, oh my God. Okay. Within the indigos have this huge aura, but the reason why they have this huge aura is because they have the indigo aura and they have their spirit all around them. The difference is between this one and this is that the indigo it has 3 chakras that are connected to the aura. And the also is that this aura is a lot more advanced, more, it's more cosmic. They're more connected with cosmic intuition and wisdom. So they're channeling cosmic wisdom all the time without noticing. That's why these children are very wise and they don't even know. They're like, well, you should have done this and you should have done that. And their spirit energy, even though it's outside the body, their spirit energy is connected to their aura. So whenever they want their intuition, they just have to trust themselves. So that's where indigos have to mature. Then that's part of the journey of the indigos, that they have to learn how to be grounded, centered, not be so scattered. And the scatterness is part of them being so multisensory already, but not knowing what to do with it. Because they go to an old time school, they don't teach you how to be sensory open. So they tend to be ADHD or labeled with all these things, but in reality, it's just about really gathering their energy and learning how to mature their energy and ground themselves. So they have to go through like a little bit of maturing, and for each indigo, it looks very different. Some indigos are really confident and they're just doing what they love and they're doing great. But if they are not doing what they love, they are feeling imbalances in their life and they're feeling aches and they're not happy and they're bored and they're feeling stuck. They need a bit of a balancing, and a balancing will help. Like it just reminds them, oh, this is my energy. That's all they need. They just need to remind themselves that they have this and that they can just shine, because the indigos are very shiny. They actually shine a lot. They shine a little bit more than the crystals. They have more colorful, but the crystals have their own thing. They're just magnified life force. So, but the indigos are the game changers. They're the ones creating the new pathways. That's why we're seeing so many millionaires that are young people and they're just becoming rich just easily and effortless. And I'm like, they're showing us, they're showing everybody that it doesn't have to be that hard, that we can create new paths easier. Then the crystal kids don't have the aura, the spirit energy, which is our intuition, our spirit, our gifts. They don't have it outside, they have it inside. So they have their spirit energy integrated in their body. So they don't need to meditate to reach for intuition. So when you have a crystal child, which is now they're like teenagers or I don't know, they are very intuitive. They're very intuitive right away. They know what they want. Like that's what I want. And they have their spirit inside the body. When you have an aura transformation, you are you directly go into crystal energy because we have so many crystal kids now in the crystal with golden energy that everybody's already going to the crystal energy. However, some people might have a little bit of indigo depending on their journey. But either way, once you're aura transformed, you're a new time aura, and eventually you just start shifting into whatever you need. But most adults, everybody's just going into the crystal, and then maybe if we have a little bit of indigo needing to learn boundaries, then we have like a little bit of indigo energy around it, around our crystal energy. The indigo kids or the indigo adults can actually start crystallizing once they start following their path. Once they start really going for their passion and really maturing and doing what they love. And then the crystal and golden kids, they're just the children now, the younger ones, and they're more joyful. They're more in balance with joy and structure. All right, so I already talked a little bit about all of them, so I'm just gonna go really quick by this, but this is the indigo energy. So the indigo, they're healers. They want to help everyone. They're honest. They will tell you what they're thinking without filters. They're truth seeking. They're always in search of the truth. Self-taught. That's why they're bringing all those new businesses on their own. They're not interested in educational institutions. They're provocative. They do not show respect either for authority figures or to people in general unless it is earned according to them. They're rebellious, do not like established systems, challenging, creating balances in their surrounding. Can easily become unbalanced and they need diets. They need healthy diets because they tend to physically react to the old times. So if there's food that is not ethical, maybe they're reacting to it, or if there's energy that they don't like around. All right, crystal energy. They're pure. Crystal children are very pure in high frequency energy. They're very balanced. So this is one of the reasons why the or transformation is called balance on all levels, because it's really based on crystal energy, and it is easier for them to stay balanced than the indigo and the crystal children because these children are already like in they're in higher frequency than the indigos. They're in five-dimensional frequency, so they're just more in tune with the whole and with themselves. So they have clear boundaries. That's one of the things. And you start feeling it when you're aura transformed, you start sensing like you're all of a sudden like no, yes, and you don't know why, but you're like really clear, like, no, I don't want that. And things become really clear when you don't like to eat this. It's not good for me. This is good for me. I like this. This is what I want to do. It becomes so clear and you become more boundaries. And when you don't want something and people, it just becomes really natural. It's not something you have to plan. So sure for what they want to do or what they don't, and have a hard time compromising. Truth seeking, they are very honest by nature and are always seeking honesty from others when socializing. They're holistic, they think holistic, they see everything as a whole. Some ailments, if they have like imbalanced homes, is eczema, allergies, fever, earaches. Okay, so the new time energy is more simplified life. So the new time children is really beautiful to start seeing now that we're going over this, to start seeing how the children are very clear, very straightforward in their communication. They're less emotional. They have simplified emotions because they're in a higher frequency. They're in a very different frequency. The platform where they live, it's very different from the old time energy. And you start noticing that when you're or transform as well. They're very focused and they're very energy savvy. Will not use energy on things that they cannot influence. So old time meets new time. When adults with soul energy from the old time meets today's children with spirit energy from the new time, communication can become complicated due to the huge gap of frequency levels. So the different dimensions that they live in, frequency levels between these adults and children. Be conscious of how you raise these children. Must focus on respect and direct communication and truth because these children will know when adults are like one, like the mind is here, the emotions are here, and the truth is over here, and they're not like aligned with any of it. So they can tell when adults are lying. Children will break free very early because they're less attached than like the adults. The complicated ways of doing things in the old time energy is very hard to the new time children to understand. So when people are aura transform, it's funny because we all have, well, the people that have been around that have been aura transformed, we all have this feeling like a lot of nonsense conversations that don't say much become really like, oh, why did you say so much? Like you become overwhelmed by nothingness, like complicated things. You start becoming more simple in your life. Um, Okay, these children will greatly benefit from being around many adults who have the new time energy frequency as themselves. So, yeah, a lot of parents that have been or transformed, they sense, especially the parents that have troublesome teenagers or children, they sense that their children are like, wow, they can see them clearly. And I can say that from or transforming my mom as well. I was able to see her more clear than ever. And I was like, oh, this is what they mean. It's like something is lifted, and all of a sudden you're seeing them for who they are. I was able to see my mom more than for who she was than before. Okay, so the new time energies. So the differences between the structure, because it's like a different type of structure. So the old time energy is a soul aura, which is like a karmic based aura, has 7 chakras, is based on many truths. So we're looking for truths outside, other giving powers to other people and things. It's a very collective consciousness, so we follow like a collective way of doing things. It's based on subconscious, so a lot of subconscious response to life is also like gurus and masters. So it's like looking for truths outside of us to feel safe. And it's very hierarchy and it's karma based. The new time energy, the indigo and crystal aura, they have the 3 chakra and they become 1 chakra eventually. So that's just back in the day when people were aura transformed, they used to go straight to indigo. And this is just explaining it. You would go from 3 to 1 chakra eventually. But the new time energies are one truth. It's just your truth. So you stop looking for guidance from other psychics or from some other people or you start looking for your own guidance and you start understanding that you are always guiding yourself and the truth is just here. So is it the individual consciousness? So you start sensing that, and that's why this aura is like, we call it like very protective because you start sensing how you're not like people could be going through a lot of things and you just didn't sense it. All of a sudden you're like, oh, really? I didn't notice because it's not affecting you because you're not connected to that collective consciousness. So it's very individual. It's more about what you want and how you see life and everybody's in their own individual consciousness and you're not comparing yourself. So it's very conscious, it's based on consciousness, and we are our own gurus, our own masters, many dimensions. So it really, you start living into other dimensions, and it's based on dharma and free will. Okay, so what happens post aura transformation? The crystallization process starts immediately after the treatment ends, which means that you start crystallizing inside the body. So this is integration of consciousness. Crystallizing in the body happens when our consciousness is being integrated into our body, that we end up with the same frequency, both of our aura and our body. So this is bringing balance on all levels and is bringing that intuition inside the body. This is a natural part of human evolution, and this is what is happening to everyone, regardless of age, profession, education, race, gender, or location. But aura transformation speeds up this process. After an aura transformation, detox is it's gonna start happening. It's like old emotions and body memories are released after an aura transformation. So and throughout the entire crystallization process. So a detox is noticeable in the first 3 to 6 months, but it really goes on throughout a year or 2 years. But the most noticeables are in the 6 months, which means that we're decluttering things that maybe we've been doing our whole life, but it's not really a match to our truth, to our center, to our truth, to our path of our purpose. So we start like reframing our whole life. So that's the whole detox. As we are crystallizing, we're becoming more and more and more of ourselves. So how long does it take for the crystallization? It really depends on age, health, and personal individual frequency, but it takes about a year to 2 years. Who can have an aura transformation? An aura transformation is for you if you feel drawn to aura transformation. If the name, for some reason, a really weird reason, just calls you, it might be, this is like one of the signs that it might be for you, because the energy behind it just kind of calls you. You have a hard time keeping your own energy to yourself. So you're struggling keeping your focus, you feel all scattered, you feel stuck, and you're wanting to move forward. No matter what you do, you feel like you're in the same place and you have no way how to move. Easily become tired and exhausted. You have tried everything, but still, if you still feel you are not moving forward in your life. So, okay, you want to have a better connection with indigo and crystal children. As parents, it, they become a lot more connected and have a better connection with their kids and become more role models for them. You're ready to let go of the past. It's really good for people that have dealt with a lot of past trauma and they've done a lot of healing, but it might not be enough. So, and for people that have like a lot of core wounding from childhood, like in self-esteem, which is one of my best topics because I had a lot of core wounding from that. And aura transformation has helped create that expansion for me to like rebuild myself and move forward and do whatever I want to step up. Because if we don't have self-esteem, it's really hard to step up to anything, really. So self-esteem is so important. Self-esteem is the structure that moves us when things move, and it's pretty much our structure that defends us from anything. Um, Want to move forward in order to live your truth. So if you want to move forward in order to live your truth from inside out, take responsibility of your life. Feel ready to take full responsibility of your life and your energy. Or transformation is for you. So it's not only for people that are dealing really bad with their energy, but also people that really want to take like their consciousness to the next level in the sense of responsibility. Because consciousness at the end of the day is just responsibility of our awareness and how we're going to deal with our life and step up to our purpose and all that. So who should wait or reconsider? If you're dependent on any antidepressants, if you have serious psychological issues, if you don't want any changes in your life, because our transformation will definitely start shifting your whole life. If you do not feel you want to be confined to your body, this is for really high spiritual people that love to be outside their body in the higher frequencies, but no grounding. We let them know that this is really important because this is about being really in your body all of a sudden and there's no way out. Now you're like really stuck in your body. So we cannot undo aura transformation. Once you have an aura transformation, it is permanent. And if you don't feel ready. Okay, so this is required reading. So the picture is not showing, but this is a required PDF book that I have, and everybody's required to read it. But if you've watched this video, you probably can skim through it and you pretty much have seen everything. But I still recommend to read it and to research as much as you can. I will send another video with another instructor of Aura Transformation who shares deep. She goes thoroughly about all this energy, all this presentation as well. But this is required to read because Aura Transformation is a permanent treatment. So there's no way back. Once you're Aura transformed, it is done, and this is good to understand what you will go through, and it will give you more insight about it. Okay, so so if you want more information, the website for Aura Transformation that was created for Aura Transformation is this www.auratransformation.com. And these are some of the books that Anis Enough, the founder, has created. I will send this video. And if you want any of the books, I have books for Indigos, Get Your Power Back, and it teaches you energy concepts and how to reclaim your energy and all this stuff. But an aura transformation and an aura adjustment would be probably the best bet. And then this book's all of a sudden become really interesting after you've done it. Um, and that's pretty much it. So, do you have any questions? I don't know if I went too quick, but or if it was too dense. But yeah. Let me know if you have any questions and I can answer right now. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Abby, so I was just curious, do you do it online or do you
It's
do it in
in
person?
person. It's in
It's in
person.
person.
Yes. I do balancings for Indigos online, but for
Uh-huh.
adults, I it's in person. It's a 2 day session, so it's a 1 day. I will be coming to San Diego at some point.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, it's 2 hours and a half in person, the first session, where
Mm-hmm.
you get the aura dissolved in the new time aura. And then the second session, the next day, is balancing the aura system and teaching. It's the education of how to balance your energy.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay.
And once
Very interesting.
it's a one-time thing. So once it's done, it's done. And then you could do balancings after if you need it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember when I had my daughter back in 2008, reading about the indigo children and the crystalline children, and I really didn't quite grasp the concept because it was just very new to me, and and when I read about it, it almost seemed like it wasn't all the children being born in that time. It was like certain ones, and like certain ones you could tell they were crystalline or indigo because they had certain eyes or they had certain features. So this is kind of
Mm,
different. It wasn't like just every child born in that time. It was like a
yeah.
certain kind of person. So this has been insightful because,
Yeah. Well,
uh-huh,
in 2008, it was still the mix of indigo and
uh-huh,
crystal. So I think
okay,
and we put dates, and it's good that you said that because there's dates, but there's no fixed, like there are some indigos that were born like in 93. They're supposed to be like mixed with indigo and old time, like
okay,
Alejandra, and they're indigo. and then
Yeah.
there's like some crystal kids that are supposed to be mixed and they're actually crystal. So
Hmm.
there's a few exceptions, and it really depends on each child's journey,
Okay.
you know? But
Yeah.
it's not like one is more special than the other. It's just part of
Yeah.
their journey.
Okay.
They were like whatever their spirit is here to live.
Mhm.
It's more like it's ready to be a crystal already or something.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, but they eventually even they still crystallize eventually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes more sense. Well,
Yeah.
good.
I mean, I can send you more information because the instructor who taught me, she has like, I mean, she's an instructor and she has years and years on this, and she has a presentation where she goes throughly like with the in the aura, and she explains about her daughter. She
Hmm.
explains a lot of things, and
Okay.
it's really insightful. So I can send it to you. It's also like 2 hours long.
Yeah.
But this is like an intro, I guess. I mean, I gave all the information, but I think like if people want to go deeper,
Yeah.
I can send more information for sure. It's really
Okay.
it's yeah, it's really insightful for sure.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that Alejandra mentioned it to me, and it sounded familiar, and it reminded me of what I had read in the past. But now, getting into it with you and getting the details, it's really interesting, and I'm glad that it's open to, all everybody. It's something that everybody can be a part of, and
Exactly. They don't have to be like spiritually knowledgeable. And like actually
Mhm.
people, it's really interesting because Aura Transformation became Aura Transformation because random people just walked to Annie and said, "Oh, I need to get this done." And just a lot of people, mostly in the other side of the world, in Europe, people are
Mhm.
more grounded or more open to this type of things.
Okay.
So a lot of people are very Aura Transform over there. It's just like
Already, huh?
yeah, so
Okay.
this has been going on since 1996. So
Okay.
there's a lot of Aura Transform people all over there, and here there's already a good amount, but
Okay.
not enough because we
Yeah.
don't have that many Aura mediators, that many yet.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a great opportunity for adults because it just brings a lot of clarity, and it doesn't have to make you spiritual or not. It's just it brings you into your purpose. So a lot of people
Yeah.
do experience that, which is the beauty that I've been witnessing from the people in Europe when they share their journey. They're people that work in a store, they're truck drivers,
Mhm.
they're like
Mhm.
random people, but they're really magical humans, but they're just doing daily life things. They're very, they're doing daily life things, and it's beautiful because once you're transformed, you're pretty much like bringing balance to the world. It is bringing a shift when we do shift our energy because we're more conscious. So every action that we do is more clear.
Right.
If
Okay.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay, great. Yeah, definitely send me the information. I'm very interested. Thank you.
sounds good. Yeah. Does anybody have any more questions?
Hi,
No.
Gabby.
Hola.
Hola. More than a question, I just want to bring something and taking advantage that you are here right now. So, if you can talk a little bit more about how the balancing sessions or having this balancing approach can help people that maybe feel is indigo, or people that has a lot of anxiety or kind of like confusion of what they want,
Yeah.
because before I knew anything about this, before I got the Aura transformation and all that, I remember that I was doing just balancing sessions with you, and I could feel immediately the difference of just how peaceful I was in my body, and I didn't have that. I didn't have that without the sessions.
Yeah.
So once I went through the whole Aura transformation, it became something that was every day. So it's like the balancing for me were like a glimpse of, oh, how I really can feel. And after I have the process, the auto transformation, for me, just something start popping up really strong about just sharing about this, just because I think the empathy of knowing what it is to be an indigo in the sense of how much you struggle in your body in the things that you want. You have this strong drive for things that you love, and sometimes you don't even know you have the potential, but you just don't know how to manage your energy and your own body.
Yeah.
And I want to bring more like knowledge about all this for whoever is here, and feels a call to be an indigo or something like that.
Or yeah, yeah. Well, so many things came up when you were saying that, but I think what happened to you is that you needed an aura adjustment. And aura adjustment is something that I think a lot of indigos might need when they're having anxiety and like the scatteredness and all this. And it's childhood, because of childhood and the core of our of childhood, like self-esteem, the core wounding of childhood. So I don't in your journey, you in your session, you probably had a lot of healing in the aura adjustment. There was like a healing on childhood. So
Yeah.
a lot of childhood stuff can really clutter the indigo's path. So they can like it's almost like okay, you're born like with this precious, view of life, and their parents are like, no, no, no,
Yeah,
no. And
yeah.
you're just like and you
That
feel weird. You're like, oh, I'm a weirdo, or no, I'm not good enough, and all this good enough thing can really shrunk. Like it can really yeah, it can really affect our energy and in that glow. So
yeah.
I think the balancing is really useful. So if the person is really indigo, like they're already confident, they're already doing their thing, I might do an there I'm but still like I mean, we're not perfect. We still go through imbalances. So a little online balancing will help them. But if they're stuck, they have to do it in person, but they can work with me online with emotion code because I can help them release emotional baggage that is with kinesiology, so that's muscle testing, and we can release emotional baggage from most of the time when I work with indigos, it's funny, but a lot of imbalances they have it in school. It's like school, this teacher, this thing, or this, and it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And they're like, yeah, I didn't like that teacher. I didn't like this. I didn't like what they said.
Yeah.
So, bye, Lorena. I don't know if you're saying bye. Yes, I will definitely let you know. Um, so yeah, so the indigos I really recommend is to get a mini adjustment because it's the whole self-esteem thing. But we can definitely do emotion code. We can do the balancing of the elements and the feminine and masculine, which is how we balance the aura, and we can do that online. I do that with Aura Transform people, and they can sense the difference. They're like, whoa, I can feel they can be adults or transform, and they already sense the difference. So the balancing of the elements in the feminine and masculine is a powerful balancing of the new time aura for the indigos and the crystal. And for crystal children, I also recommend that to balance if they have some if they need adjustment, because most of the time in the crystals are okay most of the time. I haven't dealt with a crystal yet, but with indigos, that's the thing that I mostly see, that they're not doing what they love yet. And yeah, does that answer? I don't know if I kind of missed it.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 you did. Yeah, and
Okay.
also I just wanted to add that whether if you do an aura transformation, aura adjustment, the drive for where you want, it just becomes like a target. It's like you just go for what you want, and you have this strange, and you don't really like, if you are a person that usually cares about what other things, or you don't do some stuff because you are just always thinking of how the outcome is gonna be. This is something that it literally just like feels that is protecting whatever you are doing, and once it's out there, it's like you don't think anymore of the result. It's just like the passion that you feel when you are doing it, it's like so strong that it's just enough, and that's the
Yeah.
beautiful thing about this transition into this energy or learning
Yeah.
more about it.
Yeah, and also I want to say because I was born in 1989, so I was born with a little bit of indigo and old time aura. And for the people that are were born in between 1987 and 2004, or no, in between 87 and 95, we also feel really good with when we do an aura transformation, and it doesn't feel so strange as for adults. For adults, it doesn't feel strange. For them, it's also good. They're like amazing. But for us, it's almost like indigos. We're like, whoa, this whole time I've been waiting for this. Like, why didn't I have this before? Because it's all of a sudden like you feel like you're finally in the right energy for you. So we're some of us, and even adults, this happens to a lot of people that are activating. I meet adults that are like super magical. Their way of talking is so advanced in consciousness, and I'm like, hmm. So we start activating higher awareness, but our aura structure holds only like lower frequency because of the baggage of ancestral chatter that we hear. And so when we are into this, when once we or aura transform for the ones that are mixed with indigo and old time, once we release that baggage and we're fully new time energy, it's like, whoa, finally, because we've always felt the new time, but we also feel this chatter that is like so uncomfortable. It's like that repression, like you can't do it, don't do this, oh, you will never be good enough, and this all this bullshit. So once that's removed, that's one of the benefits that we feel when we are or transform. We feel the silence, like we're like, oh, where did the noise go? Like you all of a sudden you don't feel noise and you feel confident. And when you see yourself in the mirror for the first time, you're like, wow, there's so much presence and you see yourself different. That was one of my benefits that I started seeing myself with so much love compared to before. Like so much love. And I can't ever change, like it's permanent. It wasn't a thing that the next day or 2 days, it's been permanent. When I see myself with love, even if I'm like bloated, even if I'm swollen because I had a really bad night and I'm like, or my hair is messy, I'm like, I'm so much loving to myself compared to before that I'm like, I love that because wow, it makes a difference when you love yourself. Jihan is saying, I agree with that. I felt the same thing with the self-love. Yeah. So yeah, the I think that that's the one of the most beautiful things that I can share about our transformation, the whole self-love that comes in. Is there any other questions in the house? We talked about the indigo energy. I listen. I used to feel that I needed to make up to see myself pretty. Oh yes, the makeup. And Mirna saying me too, I think. Okay. So is there any other questions? Any other things that anybody wants to say? Jihan is from Colorado and she's also an aura mediator. I don't know if she wants to say anything.
Yeah. I
Uh-huh.
was gonna say I'm born in 1996, and according to the whole thing, when you're born in 1996, you're supposed to be kind of indigo going to like crystal. But for me, I did have a little bit of old aura, so I had an aura transformation, and I remember it changed my whole life. It's something that I don't know, like I would encourage anybody to have an aura transformation because you just become so clear into what you want to do in your life, and you go after the things that you love, and it gives you like a boost of like confidence and support, and you feel like you can do things that you've always wanted to do. And a lot of clarity comes, and I do agree with the whole thing about like you're not clouded anymore, you're not connected to this collective consciousness where you think about all these fears and all the things that you're supposed to do, but you just focus on what you want to do. It's not anymore about what others think, it's more about what you think. So yeah, it's a very powerful energy healing tool too. So
Awesome. Well,
yeah.
that's awesome. Well,
And that
Jihan
was a
is,
lovely presentation.
thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you very much. Well, Jihan is in Colorado and she's also an aura mediator. So just if you know
Oh yeah.
anybody that wants an aura transformation, they're in Colorado. She's over there. And
Mm.
yeah, if nobody has any more questions, then I'll finish the call. But I will send this recording, and I will also send another video of instructor talking about aura transformation. I'll send the PDF and my website to if you need any of my services or want to do like a discovery call with me, and then we can just talk about whatever you think you might be needing.
I have one last question.
Yeah,
I know you didn't go over any like prices of what it costs and whatnot, but I spoke with Alejandra earlier in the week and we kind of talked about it briefly. Are there ever any like scholarship programs or payment plans or
yeah,
I have a really, really low income, so it seems like it's kind of far reach for me, but
yeah.
I'm definitely interested.
Yeah, we can talk about like a payment plan. Yeah, that can be done.
Okay.
Like a monthly thing and then um somebody's coming in. I don't know who that is. But yeah, we can do definitely a payment plan for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And we can do it as we can talk about it. Like I'll send you information. I don't know if I have your email. What did you what's your name in the subs? I don't know where you signed up. Do you have any
Um,
of my information? Because you can just send me an email or yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I don't
I'll
know if I
send you an
have your
email.
information. Yeah. I'm gonna try to send information to everybody that I have. But if I don't get to you, then I'll message Ale or something.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. But yeah, we can talk about it and then we can just do something that works for you. I'm happy to do that.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know who's that last person that just came in. It's a K.
Keyur, Gabby, hi,
Oh, hi, Kejur.
how
Well,
are
the
you?
presentation is done, but
Hi,
I'm
hi.
glad you came in.
Yeah, I was busy with work and I just realized I had to join the Zoom meeting and it made me sign up a lot. So I was
Okay.
like 5 minutes more late.
Okay. Well, yes, we're about to hang up right now, but I'm
It's
glad
okay.
you came in. Yes.
I'm
At
glad to
least
see
I got
you.
to hear your voice.
Yes. I hope everyone is doing well.
Yes. I will send you the recording so you can watch it.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for coming in, everybody, and joining. I appreciate it for support and also listening and learning this amazing stuff. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.